If you're using any of these advanced AI models, you're probably getting hit with these walls of text. I'm talking about these 14-page essays for even doing the simplest thing. Now, they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's about 2,000 tokens for you AI geeks out there. So I kept thinking, what if there was a way to visually communicate with Claude instead of all this text in and all of this text out? Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a shared whiteboard that we could both look at, that we could both edit? And that's exactly what TLDraw does. So today we're going to look at how project managers can use this awesome visualization tool in all of their projects to effectively communicate not only with Claude, but with their team members on these different complex projects. Let's jump right in. Let me show you how to set this up. So here we are in the Claude desktop app, and if you've watched this channel before, you know that we do a lot of work here in this home and especially in this co-work section. We're going to jump over here into this code area. This is a great way to get started learning a little bit more about code. And what we're going to do here is we're going to fire up a new folder. This is just an empty folder. It can be on your desktop or in a projects folder. Nothing fancy there. If you haven't guessed it already, today's example is going to be opening a coffee shop here. And here's the killer prompt. I want you to screenshot this, or of course, I've got cheat sheets that accompany all of my videos that have all this stuff that you can just copy and paste right in. Those are all instantly available to anybody who joins my Patreon. There's a link in the description. I've also got a link down there for a new training that I'm doing, a free training all around project management. I'm really excited about that, so make sure to sign up and get some alerts when that's available. But this prompt is just saying that I want to get started using TLDraw here on my own machine, but I want to make sure that we can both see and edit this whiteboard by building a file-backed bridge. And this should be only about 40 lines of code and allow us to both read and write to JSON files. And that is the very short, quick, and dirty of a lot of different research that I went through to figure this stuff out. So make sure to grab that one. This will get you going in the right direction and save you a ton of time. Now, if you start using this a lot, you don't have to install this every single time. There's ways you can work with Claude to set this up so you can use that one install on many different projects. But I just want to show you a quick and dirty way to get set up. It should be running here on your local host. It'll probably be a different number than this. And it says it's created this black rectangle. So let's take a peek. There's that black rectangle and Claude saying hello here. Now I'm just gonna test to make sure it can see anything that I put in here. So I'm just gonna say, what up, Claude? Do you drink coffee? Sticking with that coffee shop theme. Just saying, hey, can you read what I wrote? So we're just kind of testing it out here before we dive into this coffee shop project. It hasn't done this before, but it says, let me reply on the board itself. So let's see. There it says, no coffee for me. I run on tokens, but I'm great at planning coffee shops. So I've got a bunch of details about this coffee shop. I'm just going to drop those into this same folder that we just created. And you can see now there's a bunch of code, stuff going on behind the scenes there. So I'm going to put a bunch of that information that it's going to need inside here. This can be anything, PDFs, emails. You can have Claude go grab stuff out of your email, Google Docs, all that stuff. Transcripts from calls, just get all that messy material in one siloed folder in there. Just telling Claude, hey, I just dropped a bunch of notes about this project in that same folder. Get familiar with this. We're going to be working on this shared TLDraw canvas. All right, it's gone through all that stuff, and now I think the first thing I want to start with is a mind map for all of this information so we can start to visually see all of this stuff that's buried in these 5 or 6 pretty lengthy documents. So for this, I'm just simply saying, hey, create a mind map of this driftwood coffee shop opening, and let's look at those major work streams and take a look at some of the documents here. Keep it readable. These things are getting so complex. I've found that the more we can prompt it to, keep things as simple as possible, but no simpler. That's a prompt that's been really helpful for me, but really kind of just steering it. Hey, we don't need all of your thoughts, just, the most important stuff to focus on right now. Boom, there we go. There is the mind map of the Driftwood Coffee grand opening, targeting Friday the 15th, and the space and build out, permits, equipment. See how easy it is to just visually look at this stuff and start to get a feel for what's going on, where the difficult areas might be to figure out. Next, I'm asking it to draw a dependency map from today to the grand opening so that we can visually see that critical path and anything that might be blocking us It's a lot easier to see this stuff visually than to kind of try to parse it out of these documents. Awesome. And there it built this dependency map and highlighted some things in red here of what may be blocked. And the cool thing is we can get in here and edit this stuff really quickly. Unlike HTML, sometimes when these things build HTML, you can't get in there and manipulate that. You have to use the AI to manipulate it. That's very different than just having a whiteboard that both you and Claude can be looking at and referring to as these projects begin to grow and morph and change. And I love that this is like an infinite whiteboard, so you can easily kind of see everything, zooming in and zooming out. You're not shuffling through all sorts of different documents looking for, where's this thing, where's that. Can live all in this massive expanding whiteboard. Now let's just say we got some bad news, and that espresso machine just slipped from September 18th to October 2nd. Update that critical path based on this new information. Now we can see everything's turned red here. Because this espresso machine has slipped, the delivery is now coming a little later. And these are all the things downstream that it affects. Next thing I want to visualize here is a Kanban board. So I'm just saying, let's add this Kanban to our board, take that task CSV and build it out as a Kanban with the owner's initials on each card. And here is our Kanban board. And remember, the beauty of this is that we can interact with it right here. We can move this to blocked, move this over here, move these up. Move a couple over here. Just saying I made some changes directly to the board. Just tell me what changed and replan anything that might need to be replanned. And now Claude's up to speed on everything we've moved around in that Kanban board. There's another cool technique that you can do called a heat map overlay. So this is a prompt you can use to color code the confidence that Claude might have on any specific thing getting done. And then you can always go in and color code it differently if you see it differently. You can take messy notes and turn them into visuals as well. So here's a prompt from like maybe a site walkthrough, looking at all the different construction, updating the board on everything that we went through based on this, messy notes, transcripts, could be recorded calls, etc. Now for the one that I'm most excited about, the floor plan. This is dealing with any sort of spatial information. If you're planning a conference and you've got a bunch of different exhibitors, and you want to figure out how to set up the different rows, or maybe you're planning a dinner party, you want to figure out, hey, where's everybody going to sit? I'm going to use this prompt that just says, hey, using the dimensions in the overview of our space here, let's draw this coffee shop's floor plan. It's got a 16-foot counter on the left, 24 seats, restroom, etc. So it's going to kind of map out this floor plan for us, so then we can then get in there and adjust it and think through maybe some different iterations of how we want the seats and the tables to maybe move around so there's a good amount of space, good amount of clearance, or maybe there's a way we can arrange it to seat more people. This is the type of thing that you really can't do inside of Claude, or directly inside of Claude, or in HTML, which Claude likes to use for this. This is a really great reason to be able to collaborate together in this TLDraw whiteboard setting. Okay, and here is our floor plan with the window, the seats, communal area, counter, point of sale there, and noting some different issues with this. Claude also walks through some different options here, some fixes for the issues that we're looking at here, so you can then iterate with Claude on this by updating the document right there, the TLDraw whiteboard, or chatting back and forth with Claude, maybe saying, hey, create 3 different versions of this, and here are the main constraints. There's a ton that you can do with these. Remember, you can share these out, you can download them, you can create PDFs with them very easily. You can create new versions of them for different stakeholders. So some stakeholders may need only a part of it, some stakeholders may need very little detail, some may need details about specific things. When you're thinking of different contractors and subcontractors, you can use prompts like this to modify this and change it into something that is very specific for a different stakeholder. Something else I've been getting really into are these design thinking frameworks, and a lot of these are really best served in a visual way, not in just a text way. This is one called the double diamond. Let me show you how we can kind of work through a decision by visualizing this double diamond approach. I'm just saying, let's draw a double diamond on the canvas and place our two open decisions, which is the counter material and the food program size. Let's visualize that and think through maybe some of the errors or complexities that are in all the notes that I dropped into that folder originally. And here's that double diamond process for thinking through this food program size and how that might affect the types of counters that we use at our coffee shop here, and how that choice will basically feed into all of the different things downstream of that, including the opening of this coffee shop. So the cheat sheet has a bunch more of these design thinking prompts and ideas for thinking through different decisions for your projects visually. So grab that by joining Patreon, by supporting this channel, and make sure to sign up for my email newsletter so you can get these updates on this new project management training that is coming out very soon. I'm working hard on it to make it really impactful and not take up too much of your time, so you can just get in there. It's got a file in there that is going to create, a bunch of different files and folders that'll help you really wrangle AI into a true project management master. Again, just signing up for my email newsletter, you're going to get all that for free. I've got a ton more videos on project management with Claude. There's links to all those in the description. Here's one of my favorites right here. I'll see you over there, and thanks a ton for watching.
Make your dreams come true.